All right, everyone, it's Thursday. I'm Andrew Dow. Time for Happening in the Hamptons podcast, our weekly breakdown of the Hamptons market, new listings, and events on the East End. We are sponsored by New York Title Abstract, the Hamptons' leading title insurance firm. Visit NewYorkTitle.com. We have Mr. Steve Glick, Dave Rutiner, and today, Romaine Gordon, return guest. We're going to be chatting about East Hampton, specifically the Springs, an area that is near and dear to your heart, and one that you are, we'll call you the expert, the real estate expert.
I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for coming back on the show. And how are you? How's business?
I'm great.
Good.
Great. Thanks for having me. Good morning, everybody.
All right. Good morning.
So let's
talk about Springs.
Let's talk about the Springs.
I want to know all about it.
Let's talk about Springs, especially for Mr. Steve Glick, who says he doesn't know anything about the Springs.
Please educate me.
I balance it out because I grew up in Springs.
I hear a lot about the Springs. Everyone's been moving there. I know a lot of young people actually start finding their first home in the Springs, and there's a lot to do, and it's like an up and coming area. You live there. What's so great about it? What are the highlights about the Springs?
Well, I think everything is great about the Springs. I mean, from the fact that we're our own little community with the coffee shops, the markets, the pizza places, waterfront restaurants, and I'll say some of the best sunsets I've ever seen are from the Springs, all the west-facing Bay beaches. So
You're selling it to me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What beaches are out there? What are the beaches?
Well, so the beaches that are out there, some of them are, I say private. They're in the community. Lionhead Beach Community has its own Bay Beach. Clearwater Beach Community has its own Bay Beach. Then you have Girard Drive. You have Maidstone Beach.
So these communities, hold on. So you're in a community. It's like consists of what, like 5 or 6 blocks?
So yeah, it's not a gated community, but it is a private community.
Okay.
Lionhead probably has 100, maybe 120 houses in it, 4 or 5 streets, and then Clearwater Beach community has closer to 400, maybe 450.
Now, if I'm going to that beach, how do I get in? Is there like a gate?
So you don't necessarily get in unless you live in the community. So when you buy a home,
sticker, yeah.
You don't even it's not even the sticker that gets you in. When you buy a home in Lionhead Beach Community or Clearwater Beach Community, you pay a fee to get a little card, and that card opens the gate.
Oh, okay. So there's a gate.
So it's really, if you rent a home in that
Yep.
community, you get that little card, but that's how you get in. So it's really just for those people. So
I understand.
yeah. So if you go down to that beach, like if I go down to the beach, even on 4th of July, sometimes it's just a couple of people with their chairs and their umbrellas. It's very quiet.
And these are all, then you start to know people that live, your neighbors, right?
Of course. Yep. You know, I walk my dogs down there for sunset. You see a lot of people. I know Lionhead's a lot smaller, but Clearwater, I can look right across the little canal and see, they sometimes have a taco margarita truck over there.
Oh,
they
cool.
do some yoga classes. But then at night, like for sunsets, everybody is pushing the strollers or walking the dogs or just going down for sunset. So groups of people are just hanging out watching these spectacular It's the same sunset you get from all the waterfront restaurants in Springs, like Boswick's, CC, the restaurants that are all on 3 Mile Harbor. It's that, everything's west facing, so it's a spectacular sunset. Yeah. It's
now you
gorgeous.
mentioned Girard Drive.
So Girard Drive, you'll watch a sunrise, not necessarily a sunset. But Girard Drive is also what I think, and I always make a point if I'm showing any properties in Springs, or if I'm listing a property and I'm the listing agent, I make sure the selling agent takes their buyers around, not only to places like Maidstone Beach, but always Girard Drive. It's just this little strip. It's a little road that runs between Accabonac Harbor and Gardiner's Bay, and the houses are very, very close to the water. A lot of the houses, as per FEMA rules, are now up on stilts. But so some of them are literally in the water.
Wow.
But it's just this spectacular little street that you drive down with water on both sides, little houses, and at the very end, you're actually looking across to Louse Point. And there are, people are paddleboarding, kayaking, just doing all the water sports that you would do on the bay and then the harbor.
And it seems like East Ham Springs is is it up and coming, or is it just
so it's been up and coming for years?
It's already there.
It's been rising a lot.
It's been, air quotes around up and coming. It's been up and coming for years. It's definitely changed over. It's transitioned from being all year round residents to a lot of second homeowners.
Okay.
So you have a mix of both, but a lot of things have come up. Like now, there's this great little coffee shop. So instead of what I used to have to do is get up and if I'm not making my own coffee, go into the village, which is not a big deal. It's,
Right.
10 to 12 minutes away, maybe
Okay.
a few more minutes with traffic. But now I can get in. I have a golf cart. I can jump into my golf cart and go right around the corner.
this
and
is great.
Golf carts are clutch.
amazing. Yeah, the golf cart is a necessity. But I go right around the corner to this great little place and get my decaf latte, and then there are places to get egg sandwiches and bagels, and waterfront restaurants
Sounds
restaurants
great.
that aren't waterfront. It's a whole little
Gotta get
community.
Steve up there.
Talk about
So-
if you have a. I mean,
So-
it's the ultimate place if you have a dog.
Exactly.
Talk about the Springs Dog Park.
Yeah, we have the dog park, we have the pizza shops, we have the wine stores, we have the waterfront restaurants, we have the non-waterfront restaurants. It's really a whole little community. And, not only are you just outside of East Hampton Village, but quite frankly, you're closer to Amagansett. So I always tell people, if you're picking up someone from the train, you're going grocery shopping, whatever you're doing, plan on doing it in Amagansett.
Yeah.
It's like...
so it's easier to
You
get
like
can ride,
8
you
to
can
10
ride a
minutes.
bike. You can ride a bike to Hampton.
Yeah, I used to teach, prior to my real estate career, I used to own a fitness studio in Amagansett, and I taught, I think it was a 6:30 class or a 7 a.m. class, and I would roll out of bed like 15 minutes before that class started and get over there. So I know it's 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes if you hit any traffic to get over, and there's, obviously fabulous ocean beaches and the Talk House and everything that's in Amagansett, but you're like dead center right in between the two.
So, if you're looking to buy a home in East Hampton Springs, are you able to find deals under $1 million?
So it used to be a given. Now it's a little bit different, obviously, because everything changed after COVID.
Sure.
So, but I always say to people, sometimes people feel like the Springs is a little bit too far out from where they want to be, or they're just not. I feel like most people aren't familiar enough with what is actually going on in the Springs, how close the Springs really is to the East Hampton Village and the Amagansett Village and the beaches. But I always say to people, there's always more inventory, I feel like, and over the 11 or 12 or whatever years that I've been doing this, I feel like there's always more inventory and more options in that inventory in the Springs than anywhere else, And I've had many people, and two that popped to mind immediately, that said to me, we love East Hampton, we have friends in East Hampton, we don't necessarily want to be in the Springs. So I can remember a few years ago, somebody said, you were referred to us, we just want to meet you, have a cup of coffee, maybe drive around a little bit and just become familiar with the different areas. So, we did a little bit of driving around, but then I took them to Springs. I took them to Maidstone Beach. I took them to Girard Drive. At that point in time, the Little Springs General Store was open and some other places. And that day, and I know this is not going to be like an everyday occurrence, but and I also had lined up a house like in Northwest Woods, outside the village in the Springs, and they found something that they loved, and they put an offer in that day, and they to this day own that house. So there have been so many people I've brought into the Springs that just weren't familiar, that just didn't know it existed, that had only heard things.
Well, they don't see, it's a real luxury. I mean, you know what else people miss about the Springs is the marinas.
Well, that's right.
So
Yeah.
3 Mile Harbor is just this super big and super safe sandbox for any size boat. And there's dozens of totally accessible marinas there. So if you have a really nice boat, or if you're just a regular fisherman, it's a great location to store a boat. Nothing will happen to your boat, even in a really rough storm.
Right. And the Lionhead Beach community and Clearwater Beach community also have their own marina.
Yeah.
So, Lionhead, I think, I don't have a boat, so I don't know the details, but I want to say it's 22 boats that can go into that marina. But in Clearwater, again, it's a larger community with a larger marina. But even Maidstone Beach, when my son was young, even though we had the private Bay Beach in our community, I would take him down to Maidstone Beach, and there's a channel where all the boats come from 3 Mile Harbor to get out to Gardiner's Bay. So you can just sit there and watch the boats go back and forth.
And you wave at them and stuff.
And they all have to go,
wave at you
10
back.
to 12 miles an hour or whatever they do. So you just sit there all day long and watch these boats go back and forth. And the waterfront restaurants, too, on the subject of the marinas, those waterfront restaurants are
people
fabulous.
don't realize you can take a boat, and it's 15 minutes from your house, not even, sometimes a 10-minute little boat ride. We used to do that all the time when I lived in the Springs.
Yeah.
It was great. You would just get on your boat and you go to East Hampton Point. You're still in the harbor, and beautiful night.
But most people don't have boats when they're out here, so you can also just get in your car, your golf cart.
Golf cart. I
it's
like
right
the
there.
I like the golf cart.
Because how many
way
other
less expensive.
Because how many other, like, there aren't that many waterfront restaurants. Even though the Hamptons is all about the beach and the water, like in East Hampton, you're going to the Springs, you're going to CC, or you're going to Boswick's, or you're going.
It's great.
Yeah,
I got to get out there more. You're selling
do.
it to me, man. It sounds like a dream. And Romaine, you have a listing there, 101 Privet Lane. This is in East Hampton Springs, right?
Correct.
New construction.
Correct.
Tell us about this one.
So it's a brand new construction. It's on just shy of an acre. And this is, speaking of all the waterfront restaurants and marinas, this is literally probably a 2-minute car ride from East Hampton Point, from the marina, from Boswick's restaurant. It's just under 4,000 square feet. It's on just shy of an acre. It's 6 bedrooms. Gunite pool, detached garage, all the bells and whistles. And the builder of this home is someone that I have worked with for probably 10 years and sold quite a few of his homes, and he does a fantastic job. He doesn't do more than one every couple of years. He's very hands-on. It's a great house, and it's on a little quiet street. It's not a cut-through street. There are a few streets in the Springs that would be a cut-through to get from 3 Mile to Springs Fireplace. This is on a quiet street where you're not on that street unless you live there. So, I think it's an amazing deal. I have it listed at $2,995, and I think today you would not be able to buy the land and build the house for that number.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Looks like a great listing. I know we were there a couple weeks ago checking it out. There was a lot of people there checking it out as well. So it's cool.
And I do have one other listing coming up on Talmadge Farm Lane that will be listed shortly. And that is not a brand new build, but that is a house that someone will probably come in and do a few cosmetic upgrades. But that's also a large piece of property. It's like 0.75 acre, give or take, and it's a 5-bedroom house. It will be listed at $1,795, which is an amazing deal
5 bedrooms
for that area.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, yeah. So keep a lookout for that in the next couple of weeks.
That's exciting.
All right, big picture. What do you got?
All right, so this past week, 31 listings went into contract from West Hampton and Montauk. Last year, 29, increase of 7%. And 2 years ago, there were 14 listings, so it's an increase of 121%. 31, we finally eclipsed 30. So this is a big week. This is high in the past couple months here, actually. The breakdown of 31 transactions, there was 1 over 50 million, 2 between 10 and 15, 2 between 5 and 10, 5 between 3 and 5, 11 between 2 and 3, 9 between 1 and 2, and 1 under $1 million. Dollar volume was 185 million in 1 week. Last year was 136 million. Increase there of 36%. And 2 years ago, in 1 week, the dollar volume was only 50 million. So it's an increase of 270% from 2 years ago. New listings that came onto the market, 46 came onto the market in 1 week. So very, very active week here. This is the first week of July. And that increases the inventory by 15 listings. And the breakdown of the 46 new listings, 1 between 15 and 20, 1 between 10 and 15, 15 between 5 and 10, 8 between 3 and 5, 11 between 2 and 3, 9 between 1 and 2, and only 1 under $1 million. The inventory is at 1,952 total listings, 1,528 active, and 424 in contract.
So there you go.
Great start to July to the summer season, and there's a lot going on.
There's something so relaxing listening to the numbers. I don't know what it is.
Are you a numbers guy?
No, I like listening to.
Steve's a numbers guy.
Can you repeat any of those numbers back, or do you just
I
sort
heard
of
15
zone out?
increase.
Are you relaxed because you're zoned out?
Yeah, I heard increase 15 listings.
It's a lot going on. I mean, look, a lot of 31 listings in 1 week. So we've been seeing in the
that's
20s.
big.
So now we hit over 30 in 1 week going into contract, and 46 new listings in 1 week onto the market. It's busy.
That's a lot of work.
People
That
were
feels
working,
good to have that inventory.
People were working July 4th. I mean, this is the week of July 1st. So it was busy.
It was a good weekend for July 4th,
Yeah, the
beautiful.
weather was great.
It was great. Parade was fun.
Yeah.
all
4th
sorts
of July was
good
on a
stuff.
Friday, and the weather was perfect.
They
so.
canceled the Montauk fireworks though.
For
They
the
did.
birds.
Yeah,
For the
Yeah.
birds.
I couldn't believe it.
What was the deal with
I was
that?
gonna go, and then we changed our mind. It was just serendipity that they canceled.
It was
I
because
okay.
the noise would upset the birds.
Well,
or something?
they're nesting, so they can't disturb them. If you shoot up some fireworks, they will, where are they going to live?
The Sag Harbor fireworks were fabulous, though. They were fabulous.
Okay.
That was the following day, and it was a great fireworks weekend if you are a fireworks person. Anyway,
What's there to do this weekend?
This weekend, that was good, Dowd. That was good. All right, so this weekend you have Fridays at 5 at the Bridgehampton Library. At the Hamptons Library in Bridgehampton, and this is a beloved event where a speaker who is the author of a book that's being presented, speaks to a huge audience in the back of the library. It's really nice, and this week's author is Kelly Corrigan. So I recommend that you guys go to that. It starts at 5, hence the name, Fridays at 5, and it's also on Friday. So you can't forget to do that really at all.
All right.
Think about it. Then you also have the SOFO's 2024, the SOFO Gala, the SOFO 2025 Gala is this weekend. I will be attending that. You can get tickets at sofo.org or you can look it up at hamptons.com. This gala supports the South Fork Natural History Museum, which is also right in Bridgehampton, and it's a wonderful charity. So you're going to want to go and do that this weekend. Or another thing that's going on this weekend is Matisyahu. I just looked him up. I forgot about this musician, but he's an amazing musician, reggae singer, and he's dressed like a rabbi almost, and he's really cool. And he's going to be. You know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's really cool.
He's
yeah, he's been around for a while.
He's Jewish.
No, he's Jewish, but he does
reggae.
He does the full. He's got the full beard and the hat
this guy's
and the whole
great.
thing.
I know.
And he sounds like Bob Marley.
Yes.
So he should be cool.
Where is he going to be?
He'll be at the Stephen Talk House.
Ah, that's a good one.
So you can see him July 11th at 8 p.m. and you can get tickets at the Stephen Talk House's website. I would encourage you to get those in advance. And then also this weekend is the Hamptons Greek Festival, which runs from July 10th to the 13th.
Nice.
And if you like food, you should go to this festival. This is a great thing to do with kids or with friends, obviously. But there's a lot of like little rides for kids that they can do. And then, you know, the real reason you go is for the food. The food is just so unbelievable. It's unbelievable Greek food. So you can get a gyro. Is it a euro or a gyro? Gyro. I say gyro. Gyro. Why do some people say euro?
It's not. Euro is,
some people say that.
Currency. It's
no, not euro. Euro.
It's a gyro.
It's a gyro. We're probably wrong, just so you know.
So you can
I feel like I've heard that said another way by people who know what they're talking about. But anyway, it's at the Greek Orthodox Church in Southampton, and it's beautiful, great event. And
you're missing one of the best things happening this weekend.
What?
Kevin Hart coming to
Montauk.
My
God, yeah.
I'm going to Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. See, Romaine's going
I'm
to
going.
Kevin Hart.
I bought tickets as soon as they
the
came
funny
out.
man himself is coming to Montauk. Come
That's
on,
true.
Montauk Point Lighthouse. Kevin Hart, Saturday, July 12th. Come on.
He's pretty good. He's
big
pretty
benefit.
funny.
You know, get your tickets if you can get them.
Yeah,
you know, I think
it's
Joe
it's
starts
like $500. It's a real
yeah,
ticket.
it's a goes to a good cause.
It's a real ticket.
It's not all. They're not all 500. There are
No?
some that are like two. You have to bring your own chair, but I think they're 250.
Wow, bring your
I
own
might
chair.
be misspeaking, but I believe there are some
500
that are.
and you don't even get a chair.
No,
Unbelievable.
250. Bring your
It's
own
like going
beach
to
chair.
Dirty where you have to serve yourself.
But I saw
That's
Kevin Hart,
Saturday
I
at 8
saw
p.m.
Kevin Hart live, and he's great. I'm sure he's going to put on a wonderful performance in Montauk, and that's
So-
exciting. So you're going there?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
That'll be
Yep,
cool.
Max and I are going. We're excited.
Is this outdoor event?
It's outdoor, so I haven't checked the weather yet, but
Rain or shine?
rain or shine, I'll bring an umbrella.
Yeah, be prepared.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
going to be funny. Oh,
Yeah,
good for you.
It'll be great.
Yeah, so you can get a general admission for your right, $200. I'm just
Right.
looking at it right here.
you go.
Just bring a
That's pretty
chair
good.
and maybe an umbrella.
Oh man, he's gonna be funny.
Good for you,
All right, good. So we got
Good
Kevin Hart in
weekend.
there. Oof, man, saved it.
Kevin
That
Hart.
was
Man.
close.
Come on, you can't miss Kevin Hart.
I know. I think I saw the ad on Instagram.
It's
And it
it's out
kinda,
there.
like, blew me away.
It's on
I-
Instagram.
He's
a lot.
promoting it
Yeah.
hard, which is great.
Yeah, because you don't really think you never hear about him out here.
You know how
man.
tall?
Like,
you know how tall he is?
I've seen him standing next to Shaquille O'Neal.
He's like 5'3".
yeah.
Really?
5'3". I googled it the other day.
It's great.
And
That's all right.
Why were you Googling Kevin
because
Hart's
there was
height?
a commercial with Kevin Hart and Steph Curry, and Steph Curry looked really tall, and I was like, Steph Curry is kind of short too.
Him next to Shaquille
So
O'Neal
it
is
made
funny.
me Google it, and I was like, wow. And then it said like he's 5'3" with like boots on. Or
How
something.
tall is Steph Curry?
Steph?
Like 6'2"?
I mean, he's
Like,
short
by-
as well,
by-
but
by,
he looked
like,
huge.
NBA standards? Yeah. Okay.
So
But
anyway.
that's like part of his humor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
You know, it's like, you know.
Poor guy.
Well, they always say you have to laugh at yourself. So.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I just wish I had his energy. He's just got so much energy.
Caffeine, Dave.
Yeah.
I've only had 1 cup of coffee today.
Yeah.
That's good. What else?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's a busy weekend.
That's a busy
Did
week.
I miss? So now you got me
Now you
concerned.
got second guessing them.
You know, you got it all.
How come I didn't see it? I didn't see it. Well,
I was
gotta make
going,
sure
and
you
I
got it.
didn't remember it.
That's all right. Don't forget to go.
Well, you can't. You
good.
can't win them all.
All right.
You can't win them all.
Cool. All right. Well, Romaine, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Podcast. Everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy July, and we'll see you next week. I'm Andrew Dowd. That's what's happening in the Hamptons.